Okay. Okay. So thanks so much. So basically, we are speaking about how we can actually find our dream jobs. And I'm trying to break it down for you that you need to see how are you developing, how are you actually growing as an individual, okay? And that lies within your professional development. So take that course. If it means going for masters, go for that masters. If it means, let's say, maybe being part of, let's say, a mentorship, be part of that mentorship, find a mentor. Look for skills that can put you forward. And it's not about only your technical skills, but it's also about your soft skills, okay? It's about those skills around communications, around public speaking, okay? Around writing, different kind of skills that can really put you outside there, okay? So it's very important. And then of course, the other is having the career goals and ambitions. I already said about career goals and ambition. I'm saying if, for example, you don't really have an ambition of where you want to be, I want to tell you that you're going to be in one place for the next 5 years, for the next another 5 years, and you totally not grow. By the time you click your 40s, you're still applying for jobs that fresh people from campus are also applying for. And you keep wondering why you're not shortlisted, because every time somebody looks at your CV, they're like, this one is already old. They already have responsibilities and they will actually be not very productive for us, okay? And they're pushing you out. So have goals and ambitions as yourselves before even you can start. Now, when you have career goals and ambitions, that also dictates on what kind of jobs that you're applying for. I want to tell you that as somebody who has greater ambitions and of course, career goals, if you're aspiring to actually get yourself to the top somewhere in your career, you also have to think through about your career decisions, okay? You have to think through about your career decisions. And by career decisions, I'll give you an example. I wanted to work for the NGOs at one point in time. And that time I was working in the private sector. But I took a step and said, okay, now I'm going to see what do NGOs exactly need? What do people that work in NGOs have that I need to have to actually get there? So I started that kind of understudy to find out grants management and so on, see how these NGOs work. I started applying for the jobs as they came through. I started trying to think of different ways and I found myself there. Now, if I didn't have a career goal and ambition in that case, then I wouldn't have really gotten there. The other example I would really want to give you is that I wanted also to become a manager very fast in my career, because I felt like if I become a manager somewhere, then I have a better stand in my career, okay? That would be a good step for me in my career. And I actually gave it about 5 years, okay, out of campus. And I want to tell you that within about, I think, the fifth coming to the 6th year, I was able to attain that. And how was I able to attain that is because I still had it. Even my career decisions were around that. When I saw that I was in a company that I'm not growing, some of you that follow me, when you look at my profile, I moved very fast, especially in my first years. I would spend 1 year and a half move, another 1 year and a half move. The reason why I moved is because in the companies I was at, I would make my analysis and see, is there anything more for me to learn in this organization? Maybe it also could be an issue to do with my earnings, and also could around what is my career like at the end of the day if I remain in this organization. And that helped me in making the key decisions. I actually one time moved to an organization with a pay cut. So I was earning a little higher in one organization and I moved to another organization at a lower salary. But why I moved to another organization at a lower salary is because I saw growth in this other company, okay? I saw that as I'm entering at this entry level, I have a greater chance to actually grow to the next level very fast, okay? And that really helped me. So your career goals and ambitions are very important when you're on your journey to your job search, even if you don't have a job, okay? Even if you don't have a job. I remember I one time got a job with Vivo Energy, that is Shell Uganda. And that was when I was leaving campus. And this was a sales job, okay? This was a sales job with what? With Vivo Energy, which is Shell Uganda. We know Shell Uganda is a very strong brand. At the same time, I was getting another job as an intern in another organization, okay? And mine was like, should I go for the sales job or should I actually go for the intern job that is in line with my career? I want to tell you that along the way, I actually made the hard decision. I left a sales job in one of the great oil companies, and I moved to my accounting line and started as an intern. Started small, okay? So you don't have to start big. You can actually start small and get there, okay? Now, one of the other things that also need to build a strong brand and network is the aspect of your personal brand. I know some people, when I say personal brand, you don't understand this at all. But I want to say that personal brand resonates about what other people see in you, okay? What other people see in you. And this is, when I speak about personal brand, I'm speaking about what you portray to the outside world, okay? This could be either at your workplace, this could either be in your personal life, okay? In your personal life. I'll give you an example. If, for example, today I know you have many friends. If somebody came up and said, I actually need somebody I'm looking for an intern, or I'm looking for, let's say, an accountant, or I'm looking for a salesperson, a marketing person. And they ask you, do you know anyone who you think can actually do this? It's even a good organization that is asking you to recommend somebody. Now, before you recommend anyone, you have your factors that you look into. If you have this friend who is not honest, if you have this friend who doesn't look serious, I want to believe that you not recommend such a person. So it's the same thing. Today you're being hired, and someone says, do you have any of your other colleagues that you studied with that you think can also work like the way you do? In the same way, you not just think about anyone. You think about some people that have either stood out in their work, maybe even while at school, or people that you could maybe have a good relationship with. Maybe you know them, not just for matters of work. It could be of different reasons, okay? Now, and that is why the strong brand is very key. For you to, I know these days, some jobs come with a lot to do with who knows you, okay? And it comes, people don't just want to hire anyone, but if there's somebody who can recommend somebody, then that person stands a higher chance. I know sometimes myself, since I'm an accountant and people have seen me as an accountant that stands out, some organizations have reached out to me and said, okay, Sam, we cannot hire you, but do you have any of your friends that you think we can actually take up and can give us a good kind of work, just like the way you're doing your work? And sometimes it gets to your mind, like, who is actually best fit for this? Because at the end of the day, you also don't want to spoil your brand. The fact that your other organization believes in you, it means that you need to recommend somebody who actually is in that line. So that is where personal branding is, how you associate with the people that you are with. Do the people know that you are with? Do they know your qualifications? Do they know your specialties, like what exactly you do, okay? And then also knowing the aspect of network, which people are in your network, also is very key when it comes to being able to find a new job, okay? Because who is going to recommend you? Even if you include them as referees, who is going to speak the right things about you? What is your personal brand like? If somebody just says, I'll give you an example right here. When I applied in joining one of the organizations, and some of you might have had this story, one of the recruiters was praying with one of my colleagues that I was working with at that time. And during church time, they asked them, they said, we have this guy called Samuel Ivanda. He actually applied and I saw his application on my desk. I'm wondering, he says that he's working with this organization. Where are you also working? Could you just tell us more about this gentleman? Like, what do you know about this gentleman? And this person who they were asking was actually was in a sales department, and myself was an accountant, so we didn't have a lot of much connection in terms of our work. But once in a while, we used to interact on professional grounds. And this was the same person who also we had gone through university together. So they also knew me from that line, and they knew me as a serious person And even in my work, they didn't have any challenges recommending me. I want to tell you that they said good things about me to the other person who was asking. And even they contacted me to say, by the way, Samuel, somebody asked me about you. Did you apply to this organization? I said, yes, I applied to that organization. They said somebody asked me about you, and they actually even told me to get more information about you that I can actually share with them on Monday. And I was like, and then they asked me, so Samuel, what can I tell them? And I was like, please just tell them what you've seen in my work. And at the end of the day, that opened a way for me. And I want to tell you that I was hired by that organization. And I believe that that recommendation, that search that this person actually made on me with this person actually played a big role in actually getting me into that organization. And this is where your personal brand is very key. Whatever you're doing, you know, these times, sometimes we think that because I'm going to include referees, they will actually contact referees. I want to tell you that organizations have gone beyond that. Organizations are now going into things to do with contacting the CEOs and the HR of managers of those organizations you're working for. They have also gone ahead. For example, if I'm hiring for an accountant, and I know very well that I've gotten the short list, I see somebody who is working with, let's say, MTN Uganda, and this person wants to join where I am working, and I'm the recruiting manager. If I have a friend in, let's say, MTN Uganda, like maybe Darius Nkwasiwe, definitely I'll call on to Darius Nkwasiwe and ask him, do you know this stuff? How is their performance? What are they exactly doing? Now, you see, the person you think that was going to be your referee is not actually the actual person who has been contacted. They have actually contacted a totally different person. So if you even faked and maybe you had a bad reputation in this organization, then that even reduces your chances of being hired. So that is why you need to be intentional about the brand you're creating outside there. What do people know about you? Are you honest with your word? Do you keep your word? Are you a person who is supportive? Are you a person who can be trusted with work and you actually deliver it to your best? Okay? Because, for example, for internal promotions, your boss is very key in recommending you to either get the job or not get the job. So are you a person who is just doing your work for matters of doing your work? And one of the things that I want you to believe is that the current job you have will be a big determinant onto where you want to be, okay? The current job you have will be a big determinant onto where you want to be. If you're not doing that job rightly, it is highly likely that you will not grow internally because people are watching whatever you're doing. And it's also highly likely that even when you apply outside, in one way or the other people that would want to recruit you will be able to get some kind of information about your performance. And that will not get you there. And that's why you see some people are able to be shortlisted and they are called for interviews. When it comes to reference checks, people don't get the jobs. Why? Because they have not built the right brands. So it's very important that you build the right brand. It's very important that you also build the right network. Connect with people that are in your profession. At least have some people that you know that are in your profession. Have some mentors around you that you look up to, people that have gone ahead in your career. Have been part of different forums. Even just being part of this webinar is also very important in its own, okay? So that is why it's very important. And now the other that we are looking at basically today is how to have a great CV and cover letter. Now, the others up that I've just explained, of course, are some of the key pillars, okay, on your journey. Now, the CV and the cover letter, these are things that you can design yourselves, okay? These are things that you can put together. And these are things that, this is just paper, okay? This is ink and paper that you're actually putting together. Now, why these are very key is that however skilled you are, however qualified you are, however, let's say, I don't know what to bring, however experienced you are, qualified, great skills you have, etc. If your cover letter and CV doesn't best represent you, I want to tell you that you're wasting your time, okay? You're wasting your time because at the end of the day, you're actually going to apply and no one will even get time to look at your CV. I want to tell you that for every job that you're applying for, you have just know that there are over 500 people plus. I think even 500 is an underestimation for some jobs. Some jobs get over 1,000 CVs, okay? Some jobs get over 1,000 CVs. And that is why some organizations have now moved to what? To online applications, okay? Many organizations have moved to online applications. The reason why many organizations have moved to online applications is that the online applications help them with the greatest part of shortlisting. Someone doesn't have to go through over 1,000 CVs to get the best 10 people that they will interview. They just use the system to filter out, okay? They will use the system to filter out. Now, your CV to best represent you, to put you on the shortlist, if it's like say an online application, you have to have the right keywords in your CV, okay? You have to have the right words that the system will be able to filter out and actually do get. And that's why you see every time you're applying for the job, they're asking you about your experience. How many years of experience do you have? What is your previous education? What is your recent qualification? Now, all those fields that you enter within that online application are actually going to filter you out, okay? Are actually going to filter you out. And that is why you see, in most cases, people say, I keep on applying and I don't know why I'm not shortlisted. And you even go ahead to say, I think every organization that is advertising, actually, they already have somebody. I want to tell you that if you have that mindset that every job that they're advertising for, there is somebody, it will limit you and it will make you not do something that will actually get you out of the challenge that you have, because you just keep on with that mindset that even if I apply, no one will shortlist me. I don't have any connection. One of the things that I want to tell you myself, this is now my 4th job, okay? But I want to tell you that I've not had any connection, and I'll honestly say this, I've not had any connection in terms of saying, recruit this person, this person is my son, this person is my whatever it could be. I've not had such. I've applied for my jobs, seeing I get the job either in a newspaper, I either get the job through maybe online, okay, maybe Uganda Jobs Online. I look at whatever it takes. I go ahead to prepare my CV, my cover letter, think through what the systems will be filtering out, think through about the person who is shortlisting, what they will be looking at, and I submit my application. And I want to tell you that by luck, I've always found myself in interviews on shortlists, even the ones that I would least expect. You get it? So it's very important that you understand what exactly the other person is looking for, okay? And one of the things that you also need to understand every time you're preparing these 2 documents, your cover letter and CV, is understanding that the person who is actually going to recruit has several options in addition to you as a candidate. The other person who is going to shortlist has several options in addition to you who is applying for this job. So what will make them choose you and not choose the other person? What will make them choose you and not choose the other person? Because if at all that does not happen, then you end up not being shortlisted. So when you're applying, see, how can I stand out? Because this is like your marketing tool, the CV and the cover letter are your marketing tools. How can I actually stand out? What exactly can I do to come out of the 500 and be on the 10 number list, okay, that is going to be invited for the interview? And that is why you need to study every job critically. And if you're part of this call, of this workshop, or you're watching this as a replay, or you're watching this from Facebook, wherever you're watching, if there's anything that you should take away from this session, is that never and never send the same CV and the cover letter for several jobs without editing and tailoring them to the jobs that you're applying for. Never and never. Never have this thing of, I have this standard CV. Every time I see a job, I just go share. Please find attached and you share it. Never. Because at the end of the day, the systems will throw you out. Those that are filtering out, the systems will throw you out. Even the people that are shortlisting, they will not be convinced that much that you actually the best candidate for their job, because that CV was used maybe for you to prepare for a certain kind of job. And now in this case, you're actually applying for this job. You're applying for this job, and this job requires specific skills. This job requires specific qualifications. It requires specific experience, and your CV does not match anything. And some people take some of these things very maybe to be not relevant, but they are very important. If a job has said that we need somebody with 5 years experience, when I look at your CV, within 7 seconds, I should have seen something that demonstrates that you have 7 years experience or 5 years experience. And this should either come in your personal statement or your career profile or whatever it is. But somewhere, somehow, I should be able to see that this candidate has. If this job requires somebody to have maybe a CPA, okay, or to have a master's, when I look at your CV, or even a degree in accounting or a degree in engineering, when I look at your CV, within 7 seconds, I should be able to see that actually this person has the right skills, has the right experience, has the right number of years that we are looking for, is the right person that we're actually looking out for, okay? So that is why your CV and cover letter are very important, So every job you see, get your cover letter, get your CV. You can have that template that you keep adjusting. Sit down, look at the job description, see what exactly is in the job description, and see what exactly is in my CV. And then you keep tuning. Now, one of these disclaimers that I want to say is that never include anything in your CV that you cannot support, okay? Don't include anything in your CV because you've seen that the other is an NGO job. So you want to say, okay, let me formulate my CV to have this kind of thing of grants management, but you've never done it. You even don't know because one of the things that you have to know is when you go for interviews, the first question they'll ask you is, tell us about yourself. You'll explain yourself. The next questions will actually follow through from what? From your CV. Say, you indicate here in your CV that you worked for World Vision as an accountant on this project. Tell me about more about what you exactly did. And somebody's matching whatever you're saying with even your CV, and they want to dig deep to confirm that whatever you've included in your CV actually represents you. One of the things that recruiters also know, because recruiters are just like you, they also apply for jobs. They know very well that you can actually get that cover letter and CV and put everything there that you don't really have to get yourself onto the shortlist. So the interview is trying to confirm you indicated this, because when you're in the shortlist, it means that you have higher chances of actually being shortlisted. So the interview is actually confirming, do you have the right skills, okay? Do you have the right skills? So it's very important for you. So if you're to think about your career development, or if you think about finding a new job, either within the next 3 months or throughout your life career, these things should be very key. And I hope you've noted them down. Your professional development, be a person who is hungry for learning. Be a person who doesn't stop learning. Invest in yourself. I know some of you are earning a very small amount of money and you feel like maybe going for that course, it is expensive. But I want to tell you that that simple course that you're thinking that is expensive for you, for example, the course may be costing you 1 million shilling, or even just 300,000, maybe it's a short course, or 500,000. But that course can actually give you a job that will double your salary. It has happened to me. It has happened to me that I spent a very small amount on let's say, earning, let's say, my CPA, but whatever benefits it has really brought to my career are benefits that I cannot even compare with how much I invested, okay? I might have invested, let's say, about maybe 5 million plus in the CPA qualification. But I want to tell you that right now, if I'm to look at, let's say, my salary and my other earnings that CPAs bring in, the 5 million is just, I don't know what percentage. It's a very small percentage of what is coming in my pocket because of that qualification that I added to myself. So make sure that you think through and see what exactly will take you forward. One of the things that I usually do when it comes to professional development and how I'm able to know what kind of course, what kind of skill I need to develop, I usually go and look out for adverts for jobs that are ahead of me, okay? Now, for example, right now I'm an accountant, and when I see a job of a chief finance officer or a finance director, I don't just say, this thing, I cannot afford it, I cannot do this role. What I do is I go and look at that job and see what are some of the roles that these people do, because this is where I want to go. And then I get down to, in terms of, there's that part of job description, and then there's a part of job specifications and skills. So I look at them and see, okay, to become a CFO, they actually need you to have maybe 5 years experience in maybe 7 years experience in related field. So I know that, okay, this is where I'm going. So I have to make sure that I'm actually maintaining my experience in the accounting field. I don't want to move to another field. The next thing I will look at is the qualifications. To be this, I need to have an MBA. So I'm like, okay, I need to start thinking about earning this MBA so that within 2 years, since I'm now, let's say, maybe a finance manager and I want to become a finance director, so within 2 years, I should have finished that MBA, and maybe in one way or the other, either I get an internal promotion or I can actually apply for another job that can actually get me into an organization. The other things to look at are skills. Every job advert has a part of skills. For example, for myself as an accountant, you'll be able to see those things of somebody should have maybe advanced Excel skills, somebody should have maybe certain, maybe understand a given accounting software and so on, should have, so whatever it is, if you're somebody in marketing, you see things to do with maybe somebody should have this qualification in marketing, maybe you should have some skill in digital marketing. Just look out for things that are trending in your career that employers are actually looking out for. And those things should dictate your professional development budget, okay? Should dictate your professional development budget. And if you're in your earlier career days, make sure that you're investing a lot in your career. Make sure that you're not just somebody who wants to earn, but you don't want to invest in yourself, okay? Make sure that you are investing in yourself. And why should we invest in ourselves? Is because we want to have the good lives, okay? We want to have the good lives. Now, when you have a successful career, one of the things that you do is you'll be able to have a good life that you can take care of your children. I know some of you could have children. If you don't have children, you maybe one time have them. If you don't have them, you can support other children, okay, to have better education. Your career gives you the money to be able to make your family happy. Your career is able to help you have that good marriage that you're looking for. Your career is able to help you, let's say, build that dream house that you're looking for, because it's your source of revenue, okay? I know some of you are in business. Yes, business is also okay. But your career, if you're in your career, it's your career that's actually even going to help you save enough to jump into business, okay? And at the end of the day, your career also help you to have that simple, happy life at least. Go for a journey, go for a trip, go for a holiday, and enjoy. And then, of course, when you plan your career rightly, you're able to retire also rightly, okay? You're not in being regret. Have you ever seen, I was reading one of the stories of a gentleman who worked up to around 55, and he was working in a company whose company policies that after you hit 55, then you actually have no job in that company, okay? So this gentleman was around 54, and they gave him a notice that within 1 year, you actually be quitting, okay? This gentleman regretted all his career life, said, I wish I'd planned better, okay? And this planning, when it comes to retirement, it also comes in terms of how much you're earning. And that is why you see, if the job that you're currently on is not helping you earn enough as you can earn, or is not helping you learn so that in the future you can earn more, then at the end of the day, it's not something that is good for you and you should be moving, okay? So you need to be able to know that my career journey has to be utilized well to be able to find a better life that you should be looking for at the end of the day, okay? Very important. So I just want to hit a few things onto what a key cover letter should really have, okay? Now, like we've said, your cover letter is basically like, it's a document that you send to the other person that gets you on the shortlist, just like the way we have a CV. Now, this cover letter is either going to be read by an individual, okay? But also these cover letters, you also sometimes upload them in the system that the system can also filter out in terms of the keywords, okay? So for you to draft your cover letter to be able to be read by the system as the best candidate, but as also be read by, let's say, by a human, then you need to do something about your cover letter, okay? So I just want to show you a very small, a small template here of a cover letter that you can basically think about, okay? Of course, there are really many templates that you can think about, but I just want to show you a very small insight that will give you the key basics that you should actually be thinking about in your cover letter, okay? So this is one of the cover letters that we have, and it says, dear, maybe dear sir or madam. Now, one of the things that you should know, especially when it comes to the cover letter, the first things that you should know is make sure that you're including the address, your personal address, okay? And then you're also including the address of the company that you're actually writing for. And this could be, let's say, maybe you're addressing this to the HR manager, or you're addressing this to the, maybe the director, HR, whatever it is, okay? And then once you're done with all that, now yours is now to move on to, let's say, your salutation, and then of course, your reference, okay? Your reference and so on. But for matters of the subject, and that's why I just want to show you this template, so you just get a picture of what you should be able to include, okay? Now, this template says that I'm writing in regard to your job opening, okay? To your job opening of, let's say, accountant, or of maybe junior engineer. And it goes ahead to say, as a candidate with extensive experience in, let's say, in accounting, okay? I'm skilled in maybe QuickBooks, advanced Excel, and so on. And then goes out to say that the opportunity to join maybe MTN Uganda greatly interests me because I've loved the work that you're doing of providing maybe great communication networks to Ugandans and so on. As a degree holder of, let's say, this certificate, I can completely execute maybe the following job descriptions now. And this is why I'm saying that the job description dictates also how you should draft your CV, your cover letter as well. So that's how these are also coming in. And I've just used this template to basically show you how you're going to actually pick the information from where. You're going to pick this information from where? From your job, the job that has been advertised, to input it within your cover letter, okay? At the end of the day. And of course, it goes on to say, I believe that I would make a valuable asset to your team and offer my resume for your review. As my professional summary, my qualities and experience make me a highly suitable candidate of the accountant position. I'm highly regarded for the transferable skills. Now, this should be part of the skills that you should have seen within the job description. That lowest part that has the skills and competencies that they are looking for are very key. If you know any kind of system, maybe you're good at Excel or QuickBooks, or if you're an IT person, you have those simple systems of different systems, include them out, okay? And then it goes ahead, says, throughout my career, I've demonstrated the highest level of service and commitment to the mission of maybe this organization. Then you also get to list a few of your achievements and proceed through to things like Thus, if you're looking for a well-grounded accountant, please contact me to arrange an interview. I'm eager to learn more about your organization and how I can benefit, how your organization can benefit from my contribution. Okay, and then you close off. So that is one template that you can think about. I want to just show you one of other templates that you can think about, just so you get a picture. Okay, I think I'll be sharing that along, but I believe that gives you an insight on what the other person is looking out for. Okay, it gives you an insight of what the other person is looking out for, because at the end of the day, when somebody looks at your cover letter, okay, when somebody looks at your cover letter, they should be able to know that you have the right skills that are in the job advert, you have the right qualifications that are in the job advert. They should also know that you're interested in the company that you're actually applying for, okay? And then they should also understand that you actually also have, in addition to the skills, experience, qualifications, they should basically know that you're exceptional. So what makes you stand out, okay? That should never miss in your CV. Make sure that you indicate all that. So when someone looks at your CV, just the few minutes, the few seconds, not even minutes, they give it, you're able to get the right picture, okay? So that is important. And then we move to the next one, which is your CV. Now, your CV. I want to basically highlight a few things here about the CV, okay? I want to highlight a few things that you should really know when it comes to your CV. Now, if it is your CV, there are key things that you should never miss in your CV. I earlier shared this in one of the articles, okay? But before even we look at those key areas, one of the things that I should indicate here that what is a great CV? What can you call a great CV? Now, a great CV, one, grabs the reader's attention, okay? When somebody just sees your CV from afar, they really want to look at your CV, okay? So it's important to make sure that you actually creating your CV. You know, now your CV, what taps their attention? One is the outlook. Like, how does it look, okay? How is it structured? And then also, one of the other things that you should also be looking at is the content in your CV, okay? What are the first things that this person reads in your CV that they should actually make them interested in hiring you? It's very important. And that is why you see every CV should have what we call a personal statement, should have what other people may call maybe a career profile, should have that beginning summary of you, or career summary, whatever you may call it, that best describes you. And that the same summary should also be tailored to the job that you're actually applying for. When I read that summary, I should be able to know that, okay, in this job, we are looking for somebody who has had 5 years experience or 7 years. Even when you're starting your summary, you say, I'm a professional with over 7 years experience in, let's say, in this field. Somebody knows, okay, this is the tick. Like every time you look, somebody look at your, let's say, CV or personal statement, they're actually ticking off. They are ticking off to say, okay, this person is actually right for this job. This person is actually right for this job. So it's important for you to have that in mind. And then one of the things that somebody says they are confused about cover letter and application letter. Now, the cover letter is also the application letter, okay? The cover letter is also the application letter. Some people call it cover letter, some people call it application letter, okay? So it's the same thing. So you should be able to know that. One of the other things that I'm going to speak about, let me first finish this CV. I'm going to hint on something. So just make sure that you don't get off some very important key. By the way, something that is very important than the CV and the cover letter, okay, that I'm going to speak about. So I'm saying that a CV should grab the reader's attention. okay? In terms of knowing that you're actually the right person they are hiring. You should also paint your career journey, okay? Basically, somebody wants to know how you've moved and how you've grown, what are some of your achievements. And that is why you see, if there's anything to leave from this session, is that in your CV, never only include roles and responsibilities under your experience, include achievements. So you've been doing that job for over 3 years and you've not achieved anything. You've never improved any system. You've never initiated anything new in that organization. You know, employers love working with people who have great initiatives, people who are achievers. Even if it's a small role like you are an intern, what do you exactly do, okay? That is a very key thing that you should be able to be looking at. So it's very important for you. And then, of course, the other thing is, one of the things that you should be looking out for, especially when it comes to CV, is that it should tell the reader the kind of job that you're looking for, okay? And that's why you see your CV should not only just be something that is generic, so you keep sharing every time somebody says, share with me your CV. Make sure that you understand the job you're applying for. That's why you see, for me, I hardly apply for jobs that I don't see the job description, because I really want to know the job description to see how I can tailor my CV, okay? So it's important. And then it should, of course, customize for the job and the organization. That I already highlighted it. It should show you as somebody who, of course, has a good understanding of your talents and skills. And this is where the keywords come in. If the system is going to filter out your CV rightly, okay, then you have to make sure that you position yourself rightly for those kind of opportunities. And then, of course, your CV, we're saying it should highlight accomplishments and should also be able to be free from any typos and grammatical errors, okay? It's very important for you. And the CV, you know, one of the things that the other person looks when they're looking at your CV is to do with, is this person the one that we are looking out for, okay? And that's why I say the personal statement is very key. Your personal profile, that first beginning statement is very, very key. And you should always tailor it to the job, okay? When I say personal statement, I'll just show you an example here, okay? I'll just show you an example. Just a small insight. So this is an example of my personal statement, okay? As you can see here, Samuel is a CPA, Samuel Ibanda, CPA is a finance and tax specialist with strong accounting and financial background. He has extensive training in finance and accounting. Okay. Sorry, I just had an internet glitch, but we are back here, okay? Yeah, so I was saying, let me just try to leave this. This is an example of one of the professional statements that I do have here. And this is what we have. Let me just try to increase it a little. Okay. So as you can see, this is what I usually edit. Okay, as I apply for the jobs, and it depends on the job that I'm applying for. Okay, and like I said, you have to keep this beginning document, this beginning personal statement has to market you as an individual. Okay, has to market you. So just to as you can see, I try to bring in my accounting background and then tax background. I go ahead to say he has extensive training in finance and accounting and has worked for several multinational companies and NGOs from various parts of the world. He has been very instrumental in the development of financial capacity building interventions programs in these organizations and continue to explore such opportunity areas. Samuel holds a first-class bachelor's degree in commerce, CPA qualification of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda, coupled with several other trainings undertaken. He is currently serving as the country finance partnership lead at Save the Children International with overall responsibility and strategic leadership in guiding the finance roles of the organization's partnership portfolio. Previously, he worked as a finance manager in the same organizations and in other finance functions of different organizations where he has had vast exposure on various financial and accounting systems. Risk working with Alliance One International at Vodafone, he was a key tax person and instrumental in installing and reinforcing SAP financial systems. And he also has a good understanding of other accounting systems like QuickBooks, Tally, Aggresso, Oracle, etc. Now, that is just a glimpse of what my personal statement looks like, okay? And somebody who looks at such a document is getting an kind of information about who is Samuel, what is his career journey, what are his skills, okay? Where has he worked? What makes him stand out, okay? If some of you have seen when I said he has a first-class degree. Now, I just didn't include that for granted. I put that there because I felt that that should make me stand out to the other person, because I know that if I include it, then I am able to pass some kind of level filters, okay? Now, to you, you may not have a first class like me, but you might have maybe you were the best employee of the year. Why not include it right there within your past professional statement? At the end of the day, yours is to understand what is the other person actually looking out for, okay? They are looking out for the best candidates. So why not put it within your personal statement to be able to position yourself? It's important, okay? So it's something that you should really take home after this. And then one of the other things that you should also know is that when it comes to CVs, is there are things that are not really relevant in your CV. And I know some of you put them because it has been something that has happened over and over time, and that's how people do it. One of the things is every time you're sharing your CV, make sure that you turn it to PDF, okay? Don't share your CV in Word format, because when you share your CV in Word format, whoever opens your document, the way it looks will be determined by how their Microsoft Word is installed on their system. So sometimes some CVs are received and they are totally distorted, okay? They are totally distorted. So don't be that person who is going to just share your CV in Word document. And also one of the things that your CV should not be very long. Don't share a 10 pages CV because you want to make sure that you're explaining everything that you have. Make sure that your CV is concise, okay? And it's straight to the point, okay? It's important. And also make sure that when somebody looks at your CV, you know, even when it comes to, someone will ask, should I start with education background or should I start with my experience in my CV? Now, I want to tell you that all those factors also depend on the job that you're applying for. And why am I going to say this? Is because the job that you're applying for will dictate, depending on your strong areas. If you don't have a master's degree and this job requires a master's degree, and you go ahead after your personal statement, and then you add maybe any personal information, your date, your birthday, your location, and so on. If you go ahead and you just start immediately with your education background, the role asked for a master's and you totally don't have it, or it asked for CPA and you don't have it, you start with your education background, somebody even doesn't waste their time to look at the rest of the items. They'll just look at this one has a degree, put it aside. But when you start, for example, with your professional experience, somebody says, okay, this person has these good things. Okay, this person has worked for this big organization. Even by the time they look at your degree, they're like, oh, this person doesn't have a master's after this such a great experience. They're like, okay, but let's give them a chance. Let's shortlist them and see. Maybe you never know. And that is why you see sometimes don't be limited by seeing, since a job requires a master's and you don't have it, apply, especially for jobs that where they say maybe a master's or degree, a given degree or qualification is an added advantage. It is just added advantage, but you can have another added advantage in your CV that can make other people be thrown out and you actually hired, okay? So position your advantage when you're starting your CV, okay? So it's important for you to know that. And then one of the other things that you should also know when it comes to of course, CVs, there are key things that you never miss, okay? And these things are very key. You can add other things, but your personal statement, like I indicated, is very key. Personal information is very key. Experience, job experience is very key. Education background is very key. Certificates and other trainings is very key. Skills and other competencies are very key. Now, all these things are the ones that are going to help the system that is shortlisting or the individual shortlisting to be able to find the right keywords that either they'll hire you or not hire you, okay? Important for you to understand. And also understanding that the arrangement, like I said, what to start with between your job experience and education background depends on where your strong point is, okay? It's important for you to have that in mind. And then this is the thing that I said. The application email, the reason why many people are not being hired, okay? The reason why many people are not being hired, the reason why we are seeing people with the right experience and qualifications not getting to the shortlist is because of the application email. I'll give you an example. One time we were recruiting for an admin assistant, okay? We're recruiting for an admin assistant, and this was, the job role seems to be small, but it actually had some good amount of money, okay? And we got, I'll give you 3 categories. One person sent through an email. They didn't include the subject in the email. They didn't include any narrations in the email. They just attached the CV and sent it. That was one person. The second person shared their CV. They just said, dear sir, madam, please find attached my CV. And they added, they attached the CVs and they put a good subject and they shared. The third category of person sent through an email with the right subject. They got part of some information from their cover letter, pasted it in the body of the email. Okay. They even included. They spoke more about themselves. They spoke about their skills. They basically they did all they could to attract somebody to open the CV and the cover letter that was attached. Now, this is why you're missing out on job opportunities. It's because you're lazy when somebody asks for your CV and your cover letter. Now, the thing that is going to help you get to a point in time where somebody opens your CV and cover letter is on your email. The way you send that email matters a lot. And it starts from just your email address you've used. Guys, if up to now you don't have a professional email address, and the professional email address should be in your names. If I'm Samuel Evander, my professional email address should be samuelevander@gmail.com, or it should be maybe samuelevander@yahoo.com. Nothing less than that, okay? Now, if you're using an email that is not professional, it is high likely that it will throw you out. Somebody doesn't want to see sweetjane@gmail.com, or maybe lovelyjohnny@gmail.com. All those names are for your personal life, but they're not for somebody who's going to look at. You want somebody to make sure that they are actually shortlisting you based on your professionalism. Okay, very important. I wanted that some emails remain unread, because when somebody sees somebody didn't even include the subject, even when somebody comes to the subject of the email, they forget to even say dear sir or madam. They just start right away and say, please find attached my CV. They don't even put maybe your sincerely or regards. Include even your phone number right there. Okay? So it's very important for you to know that the application email, if you're sending your CV and cover letter through email, make sure that your email starts with what? Starts with a clear subject line. It should include a formal salutation, just like the way you've done in your cover letter. By the way, you utilize whatever information you have in your cover letter to draw up your application email. Okay, to draw up your application email, and then also make sure that you also explain the purpose for your writing, and also make sure that you are a good fit. Okay, make sure that you are a good fit, and also make sure that you use a polite closing as well. Okay. Now, that will get you to a point in time where somebody, remember, I'll give you an example. As recruiters, we receive over 500 emails. Now, who has time to really look through the emails? And I want to tell you that the person who shortlists, by the way, are likely the junior staff. Okay. I usually, could be even HR. HR sometimes is the one that shortlists. So HR doesn't know even about your QuickBooks or which engineering course you did and what exactly you can bring on table. All they are on is impression. Okay. If an email, and you see, some jobs even go ahead to dictate what you should include in the subject. And that is why you see when you're reading a job advert, make sure that you know what exactly should be in the subject. Okay. If there is no, let's say, standard that have included, at least your subject be application for senior accountant in this organization. So somebody knows, oh, we have somebody who is applying for this role. And make sure that you starting your email with a salutation. Okay, important. So you should basically take that home. Okay, if there's anything for you to take home. So we're about to finish, and I want to conclude with interviews. But before I do interviews, because I know most of us have not yet gotten interview level, I want to jump onto something that is very critical, and the one that I also indicated earlier on. Okay, now, and this is about your profile on LinkedIn. Okay, now most of the times we think that to get jobs we only need to have great CVs and cover letters and so on. Now I want to tell you that recruiters have changed strategy. Okay, recruiters have changed strategy, and they have done what? They have gone online. They are also recruiting online. Do you see my screen? Can some people confirm in the chat box that you can see my screen? I want some people to confirm in the chat box that you can see my screen. Okay, they can see my screen. So this was an offer that came through about either 3 years back or 2 years back. So this offer came through LinkedIn. This person is Gina, Gina, that name. And they're saying, dear Samuel, my client is looking to take on an accountant for their business in Entebbe. The right person may be available to work in Entebbe, and the company is still a small boutique hotel. If you're interested in this position, please email your CV to this. Now, this person contacted me through LinkedIn. Now, this is not the only message I've gotten through LinkedIn, and I've only shared this because it is a bit old, okay? But I've gotten email messages through LinkedIn that I've also even made me be hired, okay? I've actually gotten a job offer, written contract that was paying me, how much? It was paying me about 8.5 million, okay? And this was an accounting manager in one of the betting companies in Uganda, okay? One of the leading betting companies in Uganda. And they were hiring me. I didn't take up the job and for personal reasons, because I don't believe in the whole betting thing. But I want to tell you that job started from LinkedIn. Somebody, this company has a mother company in another country, and the recruitment was being done by an external person. As you can see, also this one. This is a Mzungu. This is Gina. You cannot even understand the name. This is an international recruiter. And what happens is LinkedIn provides a platform for these recruiters to filter out whom to hire for a given job. So instead of, and the advantage of LinkedIn is that instead of a company sending out, let's say, a job and saying, let's say, apply for this, let's say, sending out, apply for this job and it gets potential candidates. Usually what companies these days are doing is that they use LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn filters out on whom to hire and whom to leave out. I'll give you an example here. I'm just going to show you. This is my LinkedIn. Now, my LinkedIn, for me, it's not an employee LinkedIn account now, because I'm a coach, I'm a motivational speaker, and so on. So you'll not best find it. But I want to tell you that I just want to show you an insight here, that whatever you include in, just like the way we spoke about experience. Now, I spoke about a professional summary. As you can see, when I started my about, when somebody visits my LinkedIn page, the first thing they're actually seeing is actually my profile. There's a very similar profile. I think you saw a very similar profile that I had the other side in my personal statement. In some or the other is appearing right here, okay? Is appearing right here. And in the same way, somebody will get down to my experience, okay? If this is my profession, just will look at it and say, okay, this is Samuel, he's a partnership finance leader, Save the Children, he's a finance manager, he has worked with these organizations, and so on. And you know what somebody will do? After that, immediately, they'll now come back and say, Samuel, you know what? We have a job offer, and your profile looks good. Can we actually get your CV, or would you be interested? Okay, and that alone gets me along the way. So in your new job strategy, okay, one of the other things that you also need to basically know, especially when it comes to LinkedIn, there are even jobs that require you to actually apply through LinkedIn itself, okay? There are jobs that ask you to apply through LinkedIn. I'm going to show you an example right here. So this is what shows me within the jobs that LinkedIn recommends to me. I'm going to click on one of the jobs. This is finance officer re-advertised, okay? So it tells me finance officer, and then it has apply. So when I click on this, this may take me to an external website, okay? But for some jobs, that application takes you to where it will ask you for your CV. I'm going to see if I can find another. Let me use this. Let me use this one and see if it can take me direct to LinkedIn. Okay, so it also takes me to an external stage. But basically, by clicking on it, it also takes part of your LinkedIn profile, the other side, okay? Because it indicates who has applied for the job. And that is why you see, if you have a poor designed LinkedIn profile that cannot position you rightly for jobs, then you're actually missing out, okay? You actually missing out. So make sure that in your job strategy, your LinkedIn to the top, okay? Because you don't want to miss out, okay? You don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss out. There are many opportunities that you can find on LinkedIn and apply for them, okay? Important. So your LinkedIn profile is very, very key, okay? in addition to whatever you want to apply to. So make sure that it's well positioned rightly. I wrote an article today about how to position yourself on LinkedIn. So you should be able to get it rightly, okay? Some of you who are on LinkedIn, I think, follow me. If you're not following me, I'll try to share my my link as well, okay? So you can always find me there. And one of the things that I want to tell you is I'm organizing a training, okay? I'm organizing a training, and I want to just share this with you along the way that is going to help you in some of these areas I've talked about. And also those people that have been asking for the templates, I have some templates that I'll be sharing with you that you can use and keep editing, okay? For your job, they're even in Word, so you can easily be able to edit and get to there, okay? And the training is really cheap, okay? And we are going to do this training for some good time. So it's going to be detailed, not something like this, okay? And what I'll basically do is also add you to a WhatsApp group. I know some people are even already on part of my mentorship. I'll add you to that WhatsApp group, and you'll be able to ask me any question that you may need, okay? So this was one of the things that I was trying to do. But basically, just for you to know that part of what we shall be learning in our training, okay, which is going to basically last about 4 days. It's going to be a 4 days training, okay? It's going to be a 4 days training. So day one, we shall look at CVs in detail, and I'll be able to share with you the templates. And if you can't attend the trainings, I usually share these links, okay? I usually share these links with you, so you're able to know. One of the other trainings will be around CVs, okay? How to basically, CVs, and then we shall have something around interviews, okay? The secrets of being hired. One of the things that I want to reveal to you is myself. Every job that they as long as somebody shortlists me, okay, that job, the chances of me getting into the company, unless for other factors that are out of my control, 9 out of 10 for the jobs that have been shortlisted have actually been hired. Now, if you've always been shortlisted and you usually get challenges of moving from the shortlist to being hired, then the training will really help you, because I'm going to get down into deep to explain more about those things, okay? And then one of the other things that I'll also be getting into deep is your LinkedIn profile, okay? Your LinkedIn profile, like we've seen, your LinkedIn profile is very key when it comes to hiring. I've actually not just for matters of, let's say, for jobs, but the LinkedIn profile positions you in many ways, okay? In many ways. Some of you, I think, have followed me through LinkedIn, okay? So I want to teach you how you can actually find the right jobs on LinkedIn, but also make the right networks. People who are going to recommend you, okay? People who are going to recommend you. I'll share with you, and some of you don't believe in this LinkedIn work. Just see one of these roles. I believe you can see my screen, okay? This was one of the jobs that came through LinkedIn. And you see, I've just tried to search it here just to show you. You see, it says new roles at Solar Now. I know you know Solar Now, okay? And this lady is called Eva. She's a Kenyan, okay? She's a Kenyan who was trying to recruit on behalf of Solar Now, and says, "Hi Samuel, we have 2 exciting roles that you may think you potentially be a good fit, given," you see what they say, "given how impressive your profile is." And this is why it is important to have a good LinkedIn profile that is impressive to who? To the person who is going to look at. Now, it's not even only to the people who are going to visit your profile directly, but for the system to filter you out. Because LinkedIn, if I'm recruiting for an accountant, I will just go to LinkedIn and say, I'm looking for an accountant who has 2 years experience, who has this kind of skills, who has this kind of experience, who has this kind of qualifications and so on. And LinkedIn will be able to give me options, okay? LinkedIn will be able to give me options. So I'll be able to take you through all these things, how you can create an impressive, to start getting people to come here and send you messages, okay? And give you opportunities. These jobs, actually, this was a reporting and treasury manager, and then there was a controller, general ledger, and my accountants may know all these things, okay? And then she even puts the contact, how I should apply, and so on. So why shouldn't you believe in this thing called LinkedIn? Okay. So my training will be able to take you through such ideas to help you as well find the right job for you. Okay. The right job for you, both online. Guys, don't limit yourself to only applying, sending, let's say, through this kind of things of manual applications, but strive to see how can I do. Now, the training is only going for 50,000 shillings, okay? The training, and you're going to attend 4 standard days training, only 50,000 shillings, okay? Now, this training is usually for 100,000. I think some of you who have been part of my trainings and know this, that my trainings don't go below that. But I understand the situation, and I understand the year has been tough, and I want to help you, okay? And the reason why I've put that limit onto there is because I want to give a bit. I want to give you my time, okay? You know, I'm a very busy person. I'm a career person as well. So I want to give you that kind of time to be able to know that, okay, if I'm part of this session, I can ask Samuel anything that I'm interested in, okay? So it's important. It's important. So that is why you need to basically know that. So I hope that you can basically join in case you're interested, okay? So that we are able to, now I have limited slots as well, okay? And it's only a few people that if you contact me, and if you're able to pay the fee, actually my slots, I usually do only 20 people. Now we have about 66 people here. So make sure that you grab the opportunity very fast so you don't miss out, okay? So you don't miss out. It's something that is very beneficial, okay? So my contacts are on the screen. Somebody says, is this a training physical or online? This training is not physical. This training is online via Zoom, just like the way you're seeing Zoom here. But I'll also I'll stream this in a private group where you can also follow it through. Okay. And if you're part of that session, I'll be able to share with you the templates, like I said, for a CV and as well as for your cover letter. You'll be able to draw your CV, okay, very well. And then you're also able to know how to design your LinkedIn profile, okay, and see how you can easily stand out. So those are my contact. That's my WhatsApp number. So after this call, just WhatsApp me and say, I'm interested in the mentorship, and let's go in. Now, guys, one of the things that you need to know, like I said, it's about investing in yourself. The kind of learning that you're going to get from this training will be a learning that will open to you an opportunity that you've never thought about, okay? Ask yourself, I'm not the most handsome man on LinkedIn to get inboxes from people that are asking me to become their staff. It's because I've positioned myself, I've learned the science. And one of the things that you need to also forget is the aspect of saying that some people are lucky and I'm not lucky. You are lucky too. You only doesn't know the science behind what makes other people stand out. The reason why I've been able to grow from where I am, from starting out as an intern to becoming a finance lead at my age, even before I click my 30s, okay, is not because I'm lucky. It's because I have mastered the science that has gotten me to there. So in case you're interested, make sure that you send interested, then I'll be able to tell you how you can be able to make the payment and join in for the training. I really would love to see most of you improve on your CVs, improve on your cover letters, improve on your LinkedIn profiles that can earn you that job that you're looking for. And at the end of the day, to be able to give you the money that you're looking out for. I'll tell you that myself, if I was able to reject a job that was paying me 8.5 million at the point in time that I got through LinkedIn, I don't know what it could be for you, okay? So you need to think through and see, do I really need this? Is this really very important, okay? So my number is, like I indicated on the screen there, is 070-380-3255, okay? It's important that you pick the number rightly, as you can, 070-380-3255, okay? And this offer is only lasting, please don't wait. If you contact me after, let's say a week or plus, then the offer would have changed, okay? The offer would have changed. But if you don't have the money right now, yeah, I always connect with me on LinkedIn. Also send me a WhatsApp, and I add you to my contacts. I usually share such learning opportunities on my status. I know some people have joined through my status. I also usually share a lot of content to help you grow in the area of personal finance, business, and career. Okay, so you can always find me on different platforms. Okay, so it's very important for us to know that we can actually become who we want to be if at all we choose to actually do what it actually takes. Okay, it's very important that we know that we can actually become who we want to be if at all we actually do what it takes. Okay, so I'll be able to explain more of that information to see what exactly you need to basically understand. So for interviews, I just want to just share about a few things that you should note. Of course, I'll explain more when we get to our mentorship. Okay, one of the things that you should think about when it comes to interviews. Now, when you shortlisted for the interviews, when you get yourself into in the interview room, it means that you have higher chances of getting the job. Okay, so you don't want to lose that chance that you have. You don't want to lose that chance. Now, the key things that I'll really say about interviews, and you should take away from me today, is the aspect of knowing that the competition is not over. Because you've been shortlisted and you've been called for the interview does not mean that it is over for you. It means that you should again demonstrate that you are actually the best candidate for the job, okay? Just like the way we are having this interaction right here, you need to build your confidence, be able to speak about your profession, experience, be able to speak about whatever you have that you think can make you stand out, okay? And that is why you need to develop key skills. Even when it comes to public speaking, be able to face people and say the words that you think they are looking out for to listen, okay? So I'll be able to teach you more of what you need to basically be able to present to those people that are in the interview. Now, the things that you should know, of course, the don'ts for interviews, don't arrive late, okay? Make sure that at least there are 30 minutes before the interview is good. You may take this for granted, but there is a way it boosts your confidence. When you reach a little earlier for the interview, you're able to build confidence even before the start of the interview. It's very important for you. And then, of course, one of the other things that you should also, the don'ts, don't sit before you're given the opportunity. Okay, of course, they will give you, when you enter, make sure that you're entering, make an eye contact, greet the panel, and then wait to hear from them, okay? Important to understand. And then one of the other things that you should also understand is when you, throughout the interview, make sure that you're creating an eye contact. I know some of you are shy. I know I'm also shy, but I've developed this kind of aspect of going beyond my comfort zone to be able to face, because this is an opportunity. This is a life opportunity. You don't want to play with it. You don't want to be seen. You know, there are guys that are really good. And I want to tell you, as somebody who has been part of some panels, there are guys that are really good when you look at their CVs, but when they get to the panel, you ask them something and they don't understand. There's even one time we invited somebody for the interview, and she was like, can I turn this to my local language so I can explain it better? And we're like, but you're going to be speaking to clients. Now, if a client speaks only English, are you going to tell them you're going to turn to your mother tongue to explain to them a concept? You get it? So you have to understand the key things that will make you. Now, you may take this for granted, but they are very key. And then also never become emotional in the interview, okay? Never become emotional in interview, because this will show on your face. And some interviewers do use it just to see how you react to situations. Because in the work that you're going to do, it's not going to be a work in the just maybe just simple kind of things. You're going to be stressed, but how do you manage the stress? It starts from the interview room, okay? Very important. And then never lie if you don't know the answer. Never lie if you don't know the answer. And one of the other things that you should also understand is never go for any interview without understanding that first question, without practicing that first question. You know, the first question that they ask is, tell us about yourself. Tell us about yourself. Now, that question, when you ace it, you actually there, okay? When you ace it, you actually there. And I want to tell you that one of the things that I'll do for the mentorship class is I'll be able to teach them how to answer that key question, okay? How to answer that key question. One of the things that I've also tried to build on is I've tried to put together some content, okay? Some content that you can actually even keep for some good time. And this I'm actually going to give it as a bonus, I promise. This is one of my ebooks. It's dubbed called Get Your Dream Job and Earn Your Worth. And I'm giving 12 steps of getting your new job and pay rise in the next 30 days, okay? As you can see it right there. Now, the things that I'm speaking about here in this book is about my career story. I share my career story again. I also give you insights of how you can set your career objective in terms of where you want to go. I also go ahead to speak about professional development and why it is important. I also go ahead to give you insights on how you can create an attractive LinkedIn profile. I give you a very good write-up right there. I'll also move to give you insights of how to do a winning CV, well-informed, okay? And then we also get down on two things to do with cover letter and then mastering interviews, what you should do before, after, and so on. Then I also go down to give you information about what else do I have in this book? I also give you information about how to position yourself for promotion. By the way, it's not about just looking for a job outside, but there's greater opportunities inside. You know, the organization you're working for already know you, okay? So they have a better chance. You're in a better chance for them to actually give you an opportunity to grow. Like I said, I have been able to grow from being an intern to becoming an accountant, to becoming a finance manager, to becoming a finance lead. All those opportunities have come because I have actually understood what it takes to be promoted. And I'll be sharing all this within this book. And then I've also gone ahead to share something about pay rise negotiation, okay? Like we said, if a job is not helping you either to earn or learn, that job is actually a problem. So you'll be able to learn from me how I was able to negotiate for a higher pay, okay? So if you're not like, you know, career growth is not only just finding a new job, but also being able to grow in your salary. So we'll be able to talk about that. And then the other is growing your personal brand. What exactly you need to grow your personal brand? And I talked of the personal brand internally, but also externally. And then this book also has how you can actually cross to a new industry, like an NGO world. I know most of you know about my story of how I crossed from NGO to from private to NGO. So I'll be able to explain that within this literature to whoever will be able to join the mentorship session. And then, of course, just a simple conclusion right there. Okay. Doesn't that sound to be a good deal? Am I not too generous for only paying 50,000? Because the book itself, the worth of the book is already 50,000, but I'm going to give you other 4 trainings on each of these items individually, okay? So I think this is a great deal for you, and you should be able to join in. And I look forward to seeing most of you joining. I know that it's 17th is a bad timing for for the month for some of you, but yeah, it is something that you should strive to be part of. Okay, you should really strive to be part of. And in case you miss, and maybe in case you miss and you really don't have money, okay, and maybe that money comes in at the end of the month, you can be able to reach out to me, and I'll be able to share with you the replay of the sessions, and to be able to help you. Okay. One of the other things that I want to say that you can always follow me. I'm sharing this link. I'm just sharing this link. Somebody says, when is this training? When is this training starting? Okay. So I've shared this link in the chat box there. Okay. Now I said the training is 4 days. Okay. The training is going to run for 4 days. So this training is actually starting, today's Friday, okay? We are going to start this training next week on Wednesday, okay? This training, and one of the things that you should also know is that this training is online. So even if you miss it because of network, because of what, you're able to get a replay in there, okay? So it's important for you. And if you're not ready for the training, you can also basically join through this maybe later on. So I've shared with you a link. Just in case you want to know about me, I've shared the link in the chat box there. Basically, that link will be able to take you to, I'm going to actually include a new link there, but you're able to visit my website, you're able to learn more about me, you're able to watch some of the YouTube videos I've done. By the way, I've done some YouTube videos about business, career, and personal finance. You can find them right there. You can also join one of my free mentorship Facebook group using that link. You can also join one of my one-on-one coaching programs. Now, some of you may not want to be part of the training, but may want maybe part to take on my coaching program. I usually do coaching in the different areas. I could just give you a small insight, but anything around business, career, as well as personal finance, I'm the right coach for you. You're able to connect with me, and we're able to go through and I'm able to help you become a better person, okay? So that is very important. So that is just a list of the things that I basically do, okay? Yeah, but make sure that you visit my YouTube channel and subscribe, by the way, guys. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for any free things like these ones, not the paid ones. The paid ones, I don't put them on my YouTube channel. But for any free videos around business, career, personal finance, you can always find them there, and it can actually help you, okay? Very important. So make sure you WhatsApp me. Like I indicated, I already read I read to you my WhatsApp. It is 070-380-3255. Send me a WhatsApp. If you're joining this session from outside Uganda, please add a +256. I know I have some good followers from different other places. Okay, make sure that you following me. So this is my YouTube channel. Okay, and I'll share with you a link directly. Make sure you visit the channel and subscribe, guys. Don't forget, it's very important. You know, learning never stops, and you have to make sure that you're keeping yourself next to people who are informed, people who are inspirational, people who are pushing you to get out of your comfort zone, people who are ready to share with you some of the things that I've shared in this session. I would have shared them only in the paid session, but I felt I should share with you that in case you're not able to follow through, then yeah. So thanks so much. I'll just take about 2-3 questions, and this session shall end. Okay. So I'll just try to search through my chat box here to see if there is any question. I think most of the comments here were about not hearing me at the start of the session, but just to proceed through here. If you're watching this from Facebook, please, you can type the question in the comment section. I'll be able to answer it. Somebody says, great presentation. Could we get the slides? The slides will only be for those people who have who are joining the mentorship. So those are the ones that will get the slides. Somebody was sharing an experience here. Okay, Great comments right here. In case if you don't, even if you don't have a question, please leave any comment about the session, what you've liked about the session, okay, and what is your takeaway from this session. It's also very important for me to basically understand that this has been very helpful to you, okay. Someone says, how long should CVs, great CVs should be? Great CVs, some jobs dictate that your CV should not go beyond 2 pages. Some CVs are 1 page, okay. Some CVs may cascade to 3 pages, but I want to say that never go beyond 4 pages. Your CV should never go beyond pages. However professional and what you have, make sure that your CV is at least, if at all you're overqualified and you have a lot of skills and experience, maybe that should go to 3 pages, okay? But at least 2 pages, at least 2 pages. And if a job asks you to basically do what? Asks you to only do 1 page, please comply, okay? Please comply. And also don't include things like pictures. Increase the size of your CVs, and some systems don't allow pictures, okay? So if the system is the one that's shortlisting, it's much likely that you may be left out. So you may not include pictures, especially when you're doing an online application, okay? Yeah. So someone says, how is the personal statement different for personal information? Okay. Okay, personal statement. Like I said, personal statement can be career summary, can be personal profile. It can have different words, okay? The personal information may be to do with the address, maybe your address, your telephone number, your age. Now, things like age, location, your address are dependent on the job. If the job, you see a job requires somebody who is mature and you're still young, don't include the age, because somebody is saying that this person is 24 years and they're applying for finance manager job, they'll throw you out. But for you front, what makes you to be advantageous, okay? If the job requires somebody who is mature and you have the age, please include it there because it helps you, okay? The same thing with location. You're now in Fort Portal, but you want to cross to Kampala. But you're applying for a job in Kampala and you're including Fort Portal in your CV, that your address is for. Somebody's like, this person, how am I going to pay them the money that is going to help them relocate to Kampala, okay? They are going to find challenges. So make sure that information including on your CV is only best represents you, okay? Yeah. So I've shared my LinkedIn profile in the chat box. You can find it there. I see many people have sent me here phone numbers and emails. Please, I request if it's possible, send me a WhatsApp, because after Zoom, I might lose this information. Just send me a WhatsApp and I'll be able to add you there, okay? I also have, of course, I also have a WhatsApp group for people that I mentor. So yeah, could add you there so you can be able to be informed about anything, okay? Somebody says you didn't comment about Brighter Monday. Brighter Monday is just like an online kind of system. You're able to apply through there. These guys use standard technology that shortlists, okay? You can also, I think, keep your CV with Brighter Monday. They can be even sending you applications. You can find a job on Brighter Monday, okay? So how do you make, somebody says, how do you make when you have no experience to get the first job? That is very important, okay? And when you don't have experience, like for example, my friends who are just joining from university, or somebody wants to cross from one industry to the other. Maybe you're an accountant by training, but you now want to cross to, let's say, to now practice. Maybe you're in marketing and you now want to move to accounting. There are key things that you need to be able to do, okay? At the end of the day, everything resonates about how are you positioning yourself with other person? Like, what are you convincing them that even if you don't have that experience, but you can actually do the job? I want to tell you that when I got my first job, I actually applied with several other people who had masters and also experience, but they were able to give me the job, okay? Why? Because I tried to think through, look at the job description and see what is my advantage. Front your advantage. Basically, that's what I can say. If you have any experience, maybe from volunteering, maybe experience through your leadership at the university, maybe through your communities, through your church. Make sure you're including that. And in case you don't have the experience, okay? In case you don't have the experience, make sure that you find ways of how to volunteer so that you build on your experience. If you want to be an accountant and you already have an accounting degree, there are many small companies that you can actually start with. Talk to them and let them be your address, okay? You start from there. Don't be afraid to start small. Or someone says, how do you balance up your mentorship program and being a finance lead? Okay, I do these things after 5. This time I shouldn't be working. They don't pay me to work up to this time. So I do my mentorship during this time, okay? So that is just to answer you. Okay, thanks a lot. Many things are coming through here. Many questions. I'll be able to answer most of these when we move. Okay. So, wow. Okay, I don't see any people are just asking me to add them on the WhatsApp group and so on. Somebody says, thanks a lot. I just make sure that you drop at least what is your takeaway from this session from the chat box, so I can know that I've done a good work, guys. Okay. Make sure that you drop some. Don't just get off. Make sure you tell me what is your takeaway from this session. You can also just appreciate, as simple as that. I need to know that I've not wasted your time, okay? And also make sure that if there's anything you need to do before you sleep, subscribe on my YouTube channel, okay? Somebody says, will there 4 days be trained? The trainings will be from 7, okay? Just like the way we had this training, the trainings will be from 7 to 9. And like I said, if you miss the training, you can actually find the replays, okay? So don't really worry. Don't really worry. And I'm going to add you to a special WhatsApp group that you can be informed about more details. But also when you send me a WhatsApp, I'll be able to share with you. Yeah. In case you're ready to make the payment, so that you don't miss out, I'll just share my numbers here. 078362218 stroke 0703803255. These numbers are registered in Samuel Evander, okay? In Samuel Evander. So make sure that you pay in time so that you don't miss out, okay? I like the comments that are coming through. Benona Kwansa, I'm interested and motivated. I've gained confidence. Thanks so much, okay? So thanks so much, guys. Nice having you. To those that have watched this from Facebook, let me just try to check and see if there's any question that has come through there. But I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate for coming around to be part of this. I really appreciate for allowing me inspire you on your career journey. I want to say that, guys, it's possible to grow. You can actually grow. You can actually become that person whom you want to be, okay? As long as you do the right things. I didn't start from where I am today, but I took on greater steps to get where I am, okay? So on Facebook, I only see somebody called, this is Gawa, who says, good work, Samuel. Thanks, Gawa, for following through the session. And thanks to whoever has followed through this session from Facebook. It's my pleasure. Okay, I want to say bye-bye to everyone. Somebody says you have a burning question. Okay, this is Ivan who has put, let me just give you the unmute you so you can be able to ask, okay? So Ivan, are you able to speak?
Yes, boss, I can say.
Okay, please go on.
First and foremost, I will thank. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, thank you so much, Coach, for your time. I really have appreciated. My question was about the issues of those questions which they fire you when you just got into the room of interview to talk about yourself, what motivates you, where do you see yourself in some years, what is all about your weakness. They know how to go about with those tricky questions and you grab their attention. I don't know whether you will talk about them in the mentorship. So that's what was really burning me, and I couldn't still hold it up.
Okay, it's fine. I'll be able to talk about those in the mentorship, but maybe just to give you an insight that for you to get the attention of the people that are recruiting, it takes a very small time, okay? And that's why we see some people taking more time in the interview room and others actually getting out very fast, okay? Now, when you ask any question, you have, for example, let me just comment on the question of tell us about yourself, and we leave this session, okay? Now, when they ask you, tell us about yourself, they tell us about yourself. If I want to hear what I want to hear, if I'm a recruiter, one, I want to make sure that I'm hearing about your experience, I'm hearing about your skills, about your education, about maybe qualifications as well, or any other certificates or trainings. Now, one of the mistakes that usually people make is when they ask you, tell us about yourself. They want to say, I come from maybe Mbarara, I'm maybe a son to Mr. and Mrs. Kurununji, and so on. Now, those details, the other person is not interested in those details, okay? They're interested to know if you're the best candidate for the job. And that's why you see some people, their chances of getting hired get off that question of tell us about yourself. Like I said, that is the first question that you asked before other questions come. So when you go for an interview, that is a question that you should actually prepare for, okay? Of tell us about yourself. So you have to make sure that now, the only personal information you may include in the tell us about yourself is maybe you're married and maybe you're a given age. If at all the job that you're applying for favors the married and favors the given age. The same thing with you being single and maybe younger. If that job favors people who are younger, then you want to include it there. And how do you know that it favors? Is by looking at the job description and specifications that have been advertised. Some jobs, they clearly indicate you should be between 25 and let's say 35. If somebody is within that age range, then they stand a high. So when you speak about yourself, somebody wants to confirm what we advertise, does this person correlate with what we advertise, okay? So once that you're able to bring it out there, then I want to believe that you'll be able to ace it. But at the end of the day, one of the other things that you also think about is first find out about the organization. When you're telling us about yourself, okay, make sure that you also understand the organization that you want to join, okay? So that you're able to link your skills, qualifications onto the job, but also the organization you want to enter to, okay? Very important. So I want to say thank you so much for being part of this. Like I said, my name is Samuel Ibanda, and I'm your inspirational coach. I'm always here to share with you great messages around your business, career, and personal finance. I really look forward to seeing most of you join through the program. And I really want to say I wish you all the best in your careers. And I want to believe that the rest is history for you and you'll actually get there. So thanks so much. Somebody says, good job done, sure, okay? So I wish you all the best and God bless you. I want to say that above everything that we've talked, God at the center of all will actually get you there, okay? Make sure that whatever you're doing, you're putting God at the center of everything as believers, okay? So I want to say thank you so much and God bless you. May you succeed in your careers. May you become managers. May you become directors. May you get double your salaries. May it happen for you, okay? May it happen in the next 3 months. May it happen maybe in the next 5 months, but whatever it is. But at the end of the day, let it start with you. Let you not just expect something to come out of the blue when you're not doing anything, God helps those who help themselves, like the saying goes. So be somebody who is helping yourself to actually get there. So thanks so much, friends. Been nice talking to you. I look forward, even if you're not paying right now for the course, make sure that you connect with me on WhatsApp. Make sure you send me a WhatsApp. So I add you on WhatsApp. I usually share lots of messages on my status, so you can be able to read my status. Connect with me on Facebook, okay? Connect with me on Facebook. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Connect with me on Twitter. Connect with me on Instagram. What you just do is search for Coach Samuel Ibanda, okay? Search for Coach Samuel Ibanda and you'll be able to get all that information from me, okay? So thanks so much, and I wish you all the best. In case of any question that I've not answered, please make sure that you reach out to me on WhatsApp, and then I'll be able to give you clarifications. Otherwise, nice talking to you, and I wish you good luck. God bless you. Bye-bye.